Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence in the year of our kiosk. And the year of our kiosks on this 21 March 2024. 21 March, holy crap. It's only 20, God, it's already, gosh. Man, holy God. Sorry for being late. You know, the best part, me and Spanky, about not being in the Army is not being in the Army.
Exactly. Hey, y'all.
Oh, what's up, Spanky? How you been, girl?
I know it's been a while. I tried to get back the same day you did, but you know, I do what I want. It's a little busy.
Well, yeah,
Just
we
a
got
little.
things going on in hey, asshole radio Twitter. So it's about time. Whatever, dude.
Excuse me? Is someone's already going off on us?
No, it's our own socials playing with us. You know how our socials are. You know, we got Nemo and Mom and
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
they always like to throw it, throw the junk out there. Wait, no pun intended. But anyways, what I was saying is that yeah. So welcome to Sergeant's Time. This is a no guest day, so generally we'll just cover some stories, cover some information, put some information out, squelch rumors, talk shit. You know, pontificate, yada yada yada, whatever. You know, piggyback, behoove.
Oh, I have to pontificate. We are not doing that.
We're not behooving. We're not
No,
all right,
we're not
all right.
behooving on my first day back.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
and we're not
one behoove.
Okay, one behoove. Okay, that was it. And that was the only time we get to say it. And then, well, can I caveat some things up because people get that?
Oh, okay.
Because isn't a caveat a warning or something like that?
Yes, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
so
It is not an adding to.
It's not. Yeah, let me caveat or let me piggyback or whatever. I think it's freaking hilarious when you see that. At any rate,
Army has like ruined that word.
yeah. Oh my God, no. In Storm, old school, Big Sarge has ruined that word. Behoove.
Yes.
It will behoove. I'm gonna tell you what. One Punch Dad just knocks it out of the park with his imitation of Sergeant Major. Freaking what the freak? And he just goes. I mean, he just lays it off. So for today's jingle, let me play right quick.
So don't let life pass you by.
Oh.
Call Recall for the memory of a lifetime.
Memory of a lifetime. Recall. Man, did you see that Alarak just drop? Knick-knack, Alarak, pick a dog a bone? Dude.
Ooh.
Man.
I got a little. What is it? Of a clamp.
Yeah, I was like,
a little moment of stress.
I was like a moment of, well, okay. And the reason why, okay, look, there's an Alarak that's been released for a voluntary retiree recall. We're going to cover that, which is kind of funny because, you know, just the way things work out and this way life is. We have a voluntary recall at the moment. And I know it's been hitting the news and also how I knew this came across is that I got a phone call from a friend that I served with a long time ago who is now up there in the Army and says, hey, you want to be my ops sergeant major or do you want to be in my shop or blah, blah, blah. I'm just joking around. I'm like, whatever, dude. He's like, no, serious. We got a recall coming. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's no freaking recall. I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. Here, let me send you the link. And holy crap.
I know.
There's a freaking recall. There is a voluntary utilization of the Army Retiree Recall Program.
Oh.
Man, Spanky, who'd have thunk?
Well, you know, I've been around long enough that I saw this happen once before, but you know, we kind of were at war then, or just, you know, got attacked or something. So what's happening now? Is what made
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. What is happening now? So right now, currently, if you guys see up on the screen, and of course, when I posted it on social medias, talked about it and all this other stuff, and everyone's freaking out. So I let the world know. So anyways, after this phone call, I was like, you know, hey, are you for real? Let me send you the fucking Alarak. So shout out. They know who they are. And it's freaking hilarious because that this individual's a senior and I don't know. I guess if you pick, there's specific critical MOSs or critical skills or something like that, voluntary recall. I'm going to go through this. Normally we don't go line by line on a lot of regulations and documents and paperwork and stuff like that. But I think for this right here, specifically for all my retired friends and those individuals holding a DD-214, I did a little more digging and research. And everyone's like, well, I got this, I got this code on the bottom of my, I got an RE4 on my stuff. Well, if there are waivers that could be applied, but I think it's got to be for specific fields. And so I'm digging more information, but preliminary searches and scans have it. So it's exactly that. And I just scrolled it back up there too. Appreciate the comments. Key and critical vacancies, the retire recall program can be an effective tool. You know how the Army how they like to do that. Hey, we're gonna call you back from retirement. You could be an effective tool. You will be a tool if you come back. All retirement eligible regular Army soldiers. Damn.
And so it's not
This is the applicability,
just
of course.
specific on what it says. It's like when I read it, it's like by name, but go on. So it's not
So
the same one.
exactly. So it's the applicability is all retirement eligible regular Army soldiers and all National Guard of the United States Army Reserves, or the reserve component is what I like to like all the hip kids say Compo 1, Compo 2, or whatever, Compo 3, whatever. I say reserve component because more than likely if there's a recall happening, y'all gonna join us. Y'all gonna join us. So that's the applicability. Retirees on the retired list. Oh, that's us. That's me. That's we're retired.
I know.
We're retired.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, so far.
Oh, trust me, I found my disqualifier in here.
you're exactly. Everyone was
I immediately went to look for mine.
Everyone was like, "Dude, could you send me that link? Send me that link. Would you post it up?" Because I posted it on X, and somebody was like, "Hey, can you get the link? There's only a little bit of the Alarac." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm not." It says 18-page Alarac, which for me, an Alarac, I'm surprised it went that long. But they attached arts and crafts. They put slides on this thing.
I know.
And so
somebody worked real hard on that.
Somebody worked hard on those slides. So we'll talk about, like I said, we're not going to go line by line. We're just going to do a real good broad brush. Retired personnel in all grades are eligible for retiree recall to active duty. There is no age limitation, although personnel older than 70 are not normally recalled. Normally.
That key word there.
They're normally not recalled. So that means my old ass is going to get recalled. There we go. Or I could be recalled. So anyways, as I was shooting the shit with my friend, I was like, holy fuck, I was going over the lines. And he was like, yeah, dude, you freaking, you want to come out? You want to do this? I go, I said, I tried to volunteer for the COVID task force thing that happened back in the day. And remember me and you were talking about that. And they were like, no, man, you're not, you're out. Your code is whatever. But now they're talking about doing some waivers. And now they're talking about, I was like, oof, man.
Well, there's only like one or two instances where I could see like, okay, where would I want a 70-year-old retiree back on active duty? Were you a doctor? Okay, you can come back on active duty. Like, there you go.
Exactly. See, something like that. Soldiers who are retirement eligible and have obtained retirement order are eligible. Now, mind you, let me go ahead and screen up to the top. It is the utilization of the Army Recall Program. Right now, currently is voluntary. There we go. Currently is voluntary.
Yeah, that currently. I don't like that word there. I don't like that word.
Yeah, exactly. Just real example of the soldiers eligible but not for the program to include but not limited to retiring officers who are unable to obtain mandatory retirement extension, active guard reserve soldiers who were selected for a release from active duty through refrat or refrat board. Soldiers retired for disability. Category 3 includes retirees for disability.
I know that's. Oh no!
Whoa! Hang on. Now just the active duty side now, of course. And so, as age of disability may not be the sole basis for excluding a retired service member. So everyone's like going, "Oh yeah, fucking, I got that RE4 code," or "I'm disabled, I can't do." Man, that's
right
not
now,
what that right.
Voluntary.
Right now it's voluntary. It's not saying that. I'm telling you, it's they. I'm telling you what, man, it's not illegal, but they're just assholes. They will find a way to get you if they really want to. Specifically, of course, with your MOS. I know me and Spanky were talking about this. Our career fields in SOF and Seaburn would be like the hot. Come on. Yeah, exactly that, Rob. I saw you, bro. I got an out spot in the S3 right now. I know. You're not the only one, bro. I got a bunch of phone calls. Hey, man, you're thinking about really doing this? Are you thinking about really... I said I would break the Army if I came back in because I would not give up WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio. I would not.
Oh, no.
I would not. I'd be like, at this point, I'm like, dude, I'd come in here to volunteer and I would do sergeant's time, in uniform or I don't know. Because,
in an S3.
In an S3.
S3. No,
exactly.
I'm sorry.
I would be in an S3.
So
yeah. Oh, no. We have the technology. I can circumvent specific protocols. And I'd be able to stream from my S3 office. Then I'd be do it from the S3 shop. Matter of fact, I'd be in the jock and do that shit. But anyways,
we digress.
Yeah, we digress. I'm sorry. So the active guard reserve soldiers and retirees on retired list for the retired reserve, the ineligibility is regular Army officers who recommended for selection early retirement by a board convened. So the officer stuff is really not. I think it's more case by case. As far as the yeah, good to be a grunt, man. My ruck days are over, bro. Gary, my ruck days are gone. I'm whoo, man. My retirement physical, they're like, bro, where's your back? You got like no discs in your back. You know, it's just bone. There's nothing left from the middle of my back all the way down. So have you made it to the last resort statement yet? No, not yet. No, not yet. Erica, no, I have not yet, because you know where I'm just getting there. I'm getting there. I'm going through. OBS doesn't have a certificate of networthiness on Dodin. Oh, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Patrick, for that IT neck information there. Yes, if I were to come into active duty, if I were to implement, and I'm researching it right now to do it, they would have to be a specific job that I would fill up, but I would not give up U.S. Army WTF moments, nor would I give up WTF Nation Radio. So, say being what you would want to say, whatever. I don't know. People come like, hey man, you gotta, because I've been, how do I say this? Offered duty positions and jobs as a GS, and the first thing I say is like, can I still do WTF moments? Can I still WTF Nation? No, I don't know if you could do that, man. All right, well, then,
I don't know if you don't want this job.
I guess I don't want the job. So implementation requiring requisition for fill the retire recalls by accomplished by two methods: by name request, which is probably why I got a phone call. It was probably what, yeah, exactly. They're gonna amend this to say everyone but Ken Ramos. Exactly that. Everyone but ICE. Everyone can. As a matter of fact, if ICE doesn't come in, we'll bring in everybody but Ken, but ICE. Exactly that. I'm just Ken, and I wanna be back in. I'm sorry. Anyways, but by many requests, a command may choose to request a current retiree or retirement eligible soldier for consideration. In either case, by name request is voluntary for the individual under consideration. That's why I was wondering why I got the phone call. I was like, huh? And then I was reading the message, and then I'm like, okay, well you're picking and choosing. I see what you're saying. You're cool. You're cool. Is that Grand Admiral of Propaganda position open? That's what I'm saying, man. I got to be the Grand Admiral. I cannot. See, my ranking would be see, that's another thing too. I'll go through the list still, but it's just funny. I'll just continue. So by requirement request, by requirement may be advertised through the CAC-enabled Tour of Duty portal. Now, mind you, this link that I'm posting, matter of fact, I should just go ahead and just drop that in the fucking chats too.
I think I could do that real quick.
Yeah, just drop that in the chats, and then drop it in the chats, and so that way, because it's a public link. I know Army pubs will probably
yes, it is.
I'll be like, oh, no way, it's not.
Oh no, it's public.
It's public. So, how many years does this retirement thing go? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have arts and crafts. We have slides. We're just scamming through. How you been, Erica? Shout out to the fam. Anyways. So, by requirement request may be advertised through, of course, through the site and all that. Positions advertised tour of duty or carrier will not be processed. The entire set instructions will be provided to the contact by the command, the position for it. So again, like I said, that's probably why I got a phone call. That's why I was joking around on Twitter today, or the X app, saying, I'm going to be one of y'all sergeant major, op sergeant major. I will never be a SID. I will never be a CSM, but I will be like an op sergeant major. Just could you imagine me walking in, just, hey guys, what's going on? They're like, why are you sitting in this office? Are you sitting in this office here? Are you doing a kid? No, I'm your op sergeant major, sir. So.
We are just like having an OG reunion in the chat, so I just need to throw that out there while we're
I was about to say, yeah, there's a bunch of former members of the WTF Nation Radio staff. We have drill sergeant in there, and we got freaking angry, our angry Lord. Her name was Why Not back in the day, and her name, but she goes by. Her real name's Erica.
I know.
And then
yes.
Yeah, Erica. So we got Why Not, the old WTF Nation drill sergeant, and then we got a freaking and then we have Dustin in there, formerly known as Alaska. Last call sign was Alaska. So hey, man, I do need to visit the new spot. I do need to get down to Florida. But yeah, so hi to everybody.
Man, sorry,
I just looked at the chats too. No, I just saw it in the chats too. I was like, I saw Dustin in there. I saw Eric. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And everyone's like, and we got Pip in there. So it's like, what the hell is going on? So the processing of it, I'm not going to go through the whole freaking thing because there's a better, more graphically articulated slide for it. The application right there is in that freaking link that you see right there, and it's right there in the bottom, right there. USArmy.nox, HRC, blah, 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 knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. And then the requirements, SCS level, so the requirements adjudicate. So again, all this stuff right here, they're like, we got all these GOs and colonels that are like already reaching out to their CSM or Sergeant Major buddies to, hey man, you want to go ahead and do this? You want to come in here and da. So a big question was asked about pay and entitlements.
Oh no, you just scrolled past like the part that's disqualifying me right there. See that? Within the Army weights body fat standards, I am fat as fuck right now. I am not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's only, but you don't have to do an ACFT though. You just have to meet the standards of medical fitness, and you only have to meet height and weight.
Those either.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, just think about
this.
They
can leave me alone. I mean, I could beat the weight standards in about like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like,
and that's the thing too, is like the new taping standards and all this other stuff from back in the day. We may have probably failed it back in our time and stuff like that, but we would have made tape. But now with the way they do it, we don't have to do a PT test. No ACFT. I'd still do the ACFT.
Yeah, that's true. Because I do remember, obviously, when there was some retirees they came back on active duty after 9/11. There was very few, but there were some. They didn't have to do APFTs either. But yeah, but right now I'm not. I don't know if I'm passing tape.
Yeah, well, I mean,
again, I don't know. I'm definitely not passing a tape.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. When they were, and it's another thing too. There's probably going to be a message out to the commands. Hey, look, you're about ready to get some some old fat retirees coming in. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a message coming out with a window, kind of like, hey, from this time to this time is when you should be back into normal shit. Because there's going to be some big uns coming back in. Coming back in. So I don't know if I fall into the big un class, but I will just say that, hey, you're retired. You got the retired body. How about that coming back in? So I'm pretty sure.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. Sorry. I was just answering Heather's question. No, you do not keep your VA disability pay while you're on active duty.
Correct.
Because I did read through that as well. I think. Oh, it's actually coming down. We're getting to that.
We're getting to that point exactly. So the pay. So we'll just go real quick. The benefits and entitlements. The pay and entitlements are the same as any other soldier currently serving on active duty on CONUS and OCONUS, as outlined in the Joint Travel Regulation. Now, here's the thing right here. Everyone's asking. Right here. Bam. If you have a Department of Veterans VA disability rating and compensation through the VA, your VA payments will stop while on retiree recall orders, and you will only receive one form of compensation. So that means your active duty pay with allowances. Your retirement pay will be suspended. But you got to notify the VA. You have to notify the VA to say, hey, look, I'm going active duty, and here's my time. So there's people in there, right? Come on, man. Old fat retiree. Man, come on, bro. Come on. We're not old and fat. I'm just saying. I may have added a little huskiness to my, I wasn't, no longer have my, 180 pounds of spring steel sex appeal that I used to have when I was on airborne status and active duty, and before I was injured. But now I'm pretty sure I could lose some of that and get in shape pretty quick, just because of the routine that you have in. And besides, besides, and could you imagine? I'm a sergeant major, so I'd come back in, and I'd be pissing off CSM. Big Sarge would be hating my guts, because we'd have barbecues on freaking, right before the 4 days in the 3 shop. We'd go to B-dubs, we'd have B-dubs hangouts, stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, if you're going to prove my packet, I'm going to say, hey man, you better be careful. So you must contact the VA upon completion of active duty to reinstate them, should you do it. Scrapples. It's all just water. Exactly. What happens when we sleep in instead of getting up at 04:30? Well, guess what? Depending what your rank, what's that term? Whatever your rank can handle.
Right. Well, no, she was saying SCRA applies, not Scrapples. Like if you have high interest credit card debt.
Oh yes, it does. It does. I thought you said. I'm sorry. Yes. It looked like it said Scrapples from here because I'm just glancing at the chats are flying. Yes, I see what you're talking about. Yes. So no, you got all that high interest credit card debt. Yeah. Exactly that. Here's your chance.
Yeah,
support the troops.
Go back in, get that paid off.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
the
that
survivor
lowered down to 6%.
Exactly that. We finance E1 and up, so go for it. Survivor benefit plan stipulates the soldier may not change previous SBP selection because, you know, when you get out and you're retired, you select that SBP, and I think it's going to fuck it up if you do. So again, now, once the AD period is finished, the retired pay will be recalculated. So it'll be to whatever a higher grade to which appointed while on active duty, if applicable, the disability incurred and aggravated, and then length of service on active duty. You might end up incurring more injuries as well, or you might be, you know, you might bump up your rating. So if that happens, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, just fucking win-win and shit. You know, is there any way to fight it? Well, currently, right now, Abe, this is currently voluntary. And speaking to the individual that gave me a call, that was a very senior ranking person who wanted to be his ops sergeant or be in his staff, said right now, currently the way they're going to do it is more than likely it's going to be volunteer. And if it doesn't go volunteer for this right here, then it's going to be volunteer waivers, and it's going to be voluntold, while concurrently happening with an IR recall. So again, it's going to be it's definitely freaking what's that? That would be the biggest piece of profile writing sick ranger. Exactly that, Josh. That's what I'm saying. But if you're coming back with disability, you literally have a profile already. So could you imagine?
Yeah.
I'd go to the VA and say, I need a shaving profile, or I need this profile. I mean, I'd be rolling like I'd be telling the doc. I mean, what could you tell the doc if you already got something that's been rated by the VA that you can't do? Everyone will be disabled. Yeah, exactly. Anyone long enough to retire should have learned that you never volunteer for anything in the Army. That's right, Patrick.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so
I'm like literally like as soon as I saw this, I'm like reading through. I'm like, hey, what disqualifies me? All
yeah,
right.
exactly that. So we're going to go through the retiree recall primer. You know what's funny is that.
Why do they call it a primer?
Yeah, exactly.
I was about ready to say. Stop being fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's killing me about this? Look at the date on that.
They had
How
plans.
long have they been planning this?
They've been planning this.
Yes.
The date of it has been April 28th of 2022.
Yes.
No, I think what they're doing is they're using. Remember, this is the one I think might have been from the recall for COVID that we were when did the pandemic happen? It's like 2021, 22. So
I mean, they could have updated the slides.
They still could. Yeah, exactly that. But being the Army, that's what the Army. So the retire recall. Yeah, exactly. It's got to be the Army. I'm just posting this right now because it's an outdated slide, and there's some major out there right now and on a battle staff freaking out because the data is inaccurate as opposed to the ALRAC. And that's something too. I got like, oh, your ALRAC's old. Look, y'all need to you need to go back to battle staff or some shit, because this is the ALRAC date. You see that right there? That ALRAC date right there at the beginning, date time group 20. 01, what was that? 1502 Zulu, March 2024. That's how you read a date time group.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, oh, it's old. Look at the date. It's 2020. What are you talking about? Is this a COVID recall? I'm like, dude, no. 20 March, 1502 Zulu time. Exactly that, kitty cat. Exactly that. Oh, the kitty cat. Sorry.
Oh, is she yelling at me?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
I think she's yelling at me. I could hear it, but I think she's yelling at me. She's like, you're being loud. So, that's all right. Controlled anger.
Back here yelling for attention.
Yeah, exactly. Controlled anger. So they were exactly that. No, that's 1500 Zulu time there, Lauren. That's 1500 Zulu time. I want her. Yeah, exactly. What was somebody said about that? I'm 100% permanent disabled. There you go, Gabriel. There you go. For that memory of a lifetime. Recall. So real quick, here's the blurbs. What's a retire recall? Who can approve it? So this is a real quick blurbage while I blab along. And then it's pretty much the stuff that me and Spanky just covered is pretty much answered to that. The link's inside the chats if you guys want to check it out and download it and look at it and laugh. How long is the recall? Somebody asked the question right there. Here's some frequently asked questions, I guess. Retired soldiers are volunteer ordered to active duty in support of peacetime operations and normally remain on active duty for 1 to 2 years. I know somebody that's been in there for almost 4. They did the voluntary recall. God, sorry, my English second language. The recall, and they've been doing it for almost 4 years now. And I'm like, wow, dude. But then again, like I said, if it's not a job, You know, if it's a job that's,
Oh.
if it's work that becomes that this work anymore. Well, what's that saying? If it's no longer fun to come to work, then and it becomes a job, then maybe you shouldn't do it. I guess that's the term. I don't know. I'm acting like
I'm trying to remember.
I'm fucking sounding like W right now. If you're trying to work, if it's no longer your job, fool me once, do your job. Wait, what are we talking about?
How do you do that? What's that saying again?
What's that
Find
saying?
a job you love. You
Find a
never
job
work a
you
day in your
love.
life. That's the saying.
That's the saying that you have to have if you don't like the job. If it becomes a job, then it's no longer what you love. Al Qaeda terrorists. Anyways, can I be promoted? No. So I saw that question in the chats as well. You cannot be promoted. We're not eligible for promotion. Current grade and retired list and all that. But think about the money you'd save. But anyways, can I be released?
Well, that, and you do still build up like your time and
exactly
your time for retirement. Like you'll get paid more in your retirement pay eventually.
Exactly. It'll increase up. So because that retirement will be like I said earlier, be recalculated. Man, there's a bunch of questions in the freaking chats. Jesus Christ. Woo. Soft times make soft people. Yeah. I want to see the influx of fucking retiring. Maybe that fixes some of the issues we have, and the climate would be cool. They need to GWAT. They need GWAT to fix everything. What's another comment in here? Chris Johnson, I'm only coming back if you come back, Ken. bro, man. It's tempting. It is. It's tempting.
Oh, I'm not tempted at all.
No, I'm just saying because
I know for some of y'all it might be.
That's tempting.
I am not.
So,
I am not.
So here's some. Can I be released early?
Oh.
Yes, you can be released early for poor performance, lack of operation requirements, personal hardship, or another reason deemed appropriate. So once everybody finds out that their ops sergeant major is also ICE from U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, I'm pretty sure I'd be released early. They'd be like, "Hey, did I see you on a podcast, sergeant major?" I'd be like, "Have you not seen me? Yeah, I mean, been doing this for a while now, and yeah, step out the car, please. You're out." So,
do you have to duck walk and give the doc gaze into the old brown and let the doc gaze into your brown eye again at MEPS? That was a question.
Yeah. Do we have to? Well, I don't know. I've been divorced so many times. You could just walk the fuck in. You don't have to worry about gazing at the brown eye. You can just walk right in and look at the fucking cave paintings from the years of yore, of the time we're cavemen. Exactly that. Yeah, working in a military post, and when this was published yesterday, you had a room full of retirees just reading this, having a good time reading. Yeah, exactly that. It's funny. I'm still in active duty. What do I need to start? If you're already in active duty, shut up. You mean be
say why?
Yeah, exactly that. How do I find a position eligible for recall? Well, if somebody knows you, like myself, I got a phone call. Hey man, you want to be working my shop? And what? So I'd have to call him sir again. I can't call him bro or hey man. I got to say sir. How do I find a position to fill? Of course, only mechanisms is for commanders, ACOMs, Army service components, direct reporting units. And probably right now there's another Alarak being attached saying, "Do not contact Ken Ramos."
Because he's not giving up.
He's not coming back. Exactly that.
He's not giving up the WTF moment.
Yeah, so. I'm not giving up WTF moment. Sorry. Anyways, so it is a real quick document here. There's already a checklist and everything. What do I report? We're press blah, blah, blah. What are our entitlements? We just went over that. What else? The SCRA, that's a good question we saw earlier from the other portions of the facts there, frequently asked questions. It replies to all retired soldiers going to active duty, also other protected under uniform reemployment. Recalled personnel do not receive additional time as to educational benefits unless specifically provided by congressional action. So there, once your active duties complete, and like you said, Spanky, because I know that was your forte. Higher grade to which appointed while on active duty and disability incurred or aggravated and length of service on active duty. But again, you got to contact the VA if you want to do this. The links are in the chats. This is how fast they're freaking doing it, dude. 120 days about. So I guess my clock started last night when I got the message. my 120 days started right last night when my friend called me up. Well, I wouldn't be his friend. I'd be like, bro, I can't call you bro, right? Can we call you bro? He did say you can talk about it, but just don't tell me. Don't say anybody that it's a freaking somebody who's up there. I'm like, all right, cool. So, shout out. So there we go. There's a 120-day little slide, little arts and crafts right there. And then of course questions. Obviously they're in the links, and there is the retirement recall flow process. That's a big flow. That's a lot of flow. That's a lot of flow. So much flow that they marked it CUI that we're posting anyways, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get people like fucking, oh my God, WTF Moment just posted CUI. Oh my God.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Come get me.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Recall me?
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that.
Recall me and revoke my clearance.
I should saw that. Joe said, if you need a PAO, I know a guy. Yeah, exactly that. And everybody in the chat's right there, man. I see some people in the chats that are interacting are of rank as well that I see, because you can see who's joined the chats and stuff like that. And yeah. Hey, look, if this is something that you want to do, and it's something that you want, like if you got that itch, like, hey man, I can, bam, I want to, bam, I want to do this. Yeah, the S2 guy in the chat's gonna report me. Yeah, exactly. No, I get it. Yeah, we do. When we posted some COI before, but like I said, we rarely post COI unless it's a specific detail or something like that. And I also think that the COI thing's over fucking done, which is another name for
all this is a public link. You can all go click on it yourself. So
exactly that.
Like
you're not.
We are posting it. You can go.
Yes.
Like get this off yourself.
Yeah.
We didn't post it first.
Wait, yeah, exactly that. Wait a minute. You want to recall? Hey, did you just post that shit on WTF Moment? Wait a minute. Are you part of WTF Moments? You're released. Exactly that. Oh yeah, exactly. Ken Ramos for PAO Sergeant Major of the Army. Bro, I was talking to one of my PAO buddies who's a PAO SGM, a PASGM. I said the same thing. Come on, bro, let's do it. Be just like old times.
There you go. That's a job that they can recall you for. You can be the new Sergeant Major of the Army. Not even PAO.
Oh,
he needs replaced.
Damn, I am honored.
Somebody that knows how to use knows how to use social media.
I am honored. Spanky, I am honored. I am honored that you would even include me in that pool.
I know you said you would never be a sergeant major, or one of the ones. The
CSM.
a sim.
Yeah.
Yes, a CSM, but that's not a CSM. That's a SMA.
Oh, girl, man, you're making. Oh,
there you go.
Oh, talk
all right, let me call somebody and see if I
talk
get
too
that
much
done.
yourself. Just talk about yourself. You guys are making me so.
My
put that in to the do list. Speaking of which, I'm surprised that there wasn't a fucking a town hall. Do you just want to go past the break since we're not doing a guest show? Just knock it out. Just go through.
Yes, okay. I guess we can go ahead and just yes, we can do that.
We can just go through a break and then just continue until, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got some other shit too that I just want to get out of. We want to get out of our system before we close it up because we don't have a guest tonight. So. I'm surprised that there wasn't a town hall. Remember when the Army used to have town halls? They used to say, "Hey, what's going on?" And
he doesn't know how to use a computer.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's not like he has people that he knows to fucking use it.
Maybe he's scared of them.
I don't know.
Maybe that's
what the phone call was that I got last night. We want to work with my staff, and I don't know where he's working, but he's working near and around DC or something like that. Maybe that's what it is.
That's why. Maybe that's what it is, because he doesn't know how to use the technology. I don't know what it is. It's just I'm.
Gary said it too. Can we volunteer? Yeah, Gary's asking, can we volunteer other people? I don't know, man. I kind of digging that. I think volunteering. I'm just kidding. There's some people that I'm glad. See, there's something too. There are people that I'm glad I retired. And this is something too. Is like, hey, how come you didn't go into contracting? How come you didn't do this? Because there's individuals that I got along great with in the PSYOP regiment and SOF and working in SOCOM, and I had blasts and all that. But then there's some motherfuckers that I couldn't fucking stand that they're lucky that they let me not just drive by them and not run them over in a fucking parking lot. Let's put it that way. And so I didn't want to connect myself to anybody like that. And some of the people that know me obviously know that, who I am or who my, how do I say this? My professional adversaries are. And so I don't want to freaking do that. I didn't want to do that. But now when you get a fucking phone call from someone that you've known from back in the day, and they're like, hey man, and they're of some rank and they want you to come back. And I was like, whatever. And then I started researching and reading the Alarac, and then it says, somebody could ask you, recommend you, bro.
Oh yeah.
It would be fun. Exactly that. It was like a scene of the Blues. Dude, I felt like the Expendables. Yeah, the Blue Brothers, the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like that, you know. I just freaking, dude, I was like, wow. First off, I was honored to get the phone call, you know, to come back, if, you know, and to think about it and all that. And second, it was just, I was just thinking, okay, wait, what are we gonna, wait a minute, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? So I'll just kind of like, you know, I don't know. I'll just kind of think about it. And then I started going through the processes and I'm like, wow, dude, that's really fucking easy to do. So what from I got some review, it said it's entirely, voluntary by a commander. Yep. Exactly that. Or you go to a position.
Yes.
Yep. You're correct, Erica. 100%. That's exactly what the gist and the wave top of this entire Sergeant's Time segment is so far. Yes. It's voluntary for now.
So far. Yeah. That's
For now.
I think that's what concerns me is that right now, that's what it is. And it also concerns me because, okay, they are like putting this plan in place to like have all these procedures. Like, okay, this is how we do, like, you know, they have this whole flow chart on how to process putting retirees back on. Like, okay, so what are you really planning? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's what concerns me. And like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's like right now it's just, okay, we request, like, you know, hey, Ken gets a phone call. Do you want to come back? It's all voluntary by name.
Right.
Then it opens up to like voluntary, like who all wants to come back.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just like anybody can apply to come back. Like, and then it becomes like, okay, you're coming back. Because, you know, like if you everybody go read your retirement orders right now, it says subject to recall on there.
Yes. So it's, again, I think you'd rather go ahead and, I don't know what's going on. Exactly that, Erica. This is round one. Exactly that, Erica. This is round one.
Yes.
We don't know what's happening next or what the intent is. And again, I think the reason why there's a lot of individuals that are filling in the gap, and then of course, you know, all these, you're gonna have some fucking media outlets that are gonna pick this up and run with it and say it's because of this and blah, blah, we can't handle it. Blah, blah. Then you're gonna be like, oh god. So the reason, that's why I figured when I was talking to Spanky that this would be the topic that we need to talk about, because no one has come out to say anything. And it's like a sneak. I was like, I didn't know this was happening. I didn't see this. What are you talking about? What do you mean there's a bone? I was, when I got the phone call, I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was like, ha ha ha. Yeah. Anyways, no, I'm serious. Here's
like I said, if they get to the round, like recall Spanky, they're gonna remember why they med boarded me out in the first place. Right. That's what they're gonna remember.
Yeah, exactly that. Chris, no one's told, no one. My phone call did not say why the recall was happening, and I think due to the fact that I was on a phone call. You know, I mean, it wasn't a secure phone call. I don't have a secure phone call. You know, I don't have a STU or STE or a classified phone, or else I, you know, kind of like. Well, matter of fact, that's a good question. You know,
or a conversation in person.
Yeah, exactly. Matter of fact, that's a good. Somebody asked the question. What did the Army say? I'm like, well, let's see what did.
That is the real question.
What did the Army say? Well, let me freaking go back to be all you can be, and there we go. WTF needs a STE. You know it does. There we go. So let's scroll them down on the U.S. Army Facebook page, because you know the Army social media team's pretty good too. They're pretty quick on and hopping on stuff like that. So let's see, 3D printing and barracks, 3D printed barracks. Yep, there we go. That's okay. There you go.
Okay, that's how we're making a new barracks.
Okay,
they need somewhere for all these new retirees.
Exactly. Those are the new retirement quarters. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. People were like, oh, "Is that really happening?" And just imagine fucking Fox News. The Army's 3D printing barracks because they're calling the retirees and blah 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 blah. And then Alex Jones would come back on the net. Can you see? I told you guys the gay frogs are coming in, and they're gonna freaking print these barracks for these retirees coming in for the border. So there we go. So that's freaking. So let me look at that. Yep. No, that's Soldier's Creed. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Soldier member team. Yep. There you go. Got that. Got the Soldier's Creed. Yep. So okay. So there's our commissioner studies. Yeah. Oh, the Ghost Army. We're gonna talk about them in a second at the end of the show. We got one more topic to discuss about BCAP being shady and shady leaders and shady with shadies. But anyways, look, Creed and non-commissioned officer. So look at this. This is about, I think, the same time when I got it right there. See, so yeah, so it's like about the same time I got information about, or I got around the phone call would be around the time that there should have been something on social media. There's drill sergeants right there. That was a good post. I like that post. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I'm getting a 3 and 4.
No, I'm not seeing anything on Army. Oh, barracks, freaking. I just said twice. God.
Oh my gosh.
See, it's already kicking in.
New furniture on 4K.
Yeah, it's kicking in right now. The Army is slowly seeping back in. I said 3 times, 2 times. You say it 3 times, and it's like next thing you know, you're in OCPs or ACUs, freaking wearing your, man. I should just. Oh man, that'd be hilarious. I should just come back in, and then I know I'd get fired. Someone would say, he's part of WTF moments, and I wouldn't be. I would just for that right there. I could reinvent the whole MDMP process and make the Army shine, but because I'm part of WTF moments, then here you go. No,
right?
You can't do it. So, anyways, so new barracks at Fort Cav, old guard, and women's history stuff. Yep, there you go, women's serving. Yep, all right, so I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that had anything to do with this recall at all. And like you were saying, Spanky, this is where it's fucking up. This is where the message should have come across. I need to come back just to get my pinks. Ooh, good job. Yeah, right, Chris. Right, exactly. I should come back to get pinks and greens, looking all fly and stuff.
They're not going to issue you those. You're going to have to pay for them.
Yeah.
You can go buy them right now if you really just want them.
Yeah, exactly that, man. I was like, oh my gosh. So let me see. Matter of fact, let's go to let me window cap the Army Twitters, because the Army Twitter page generally has a good let me go here. All right, so the Army, pew, and of course, man, look at that, Ghost Army, baby, whoop whoop, yeah, zip zap. So anyway, not seeing anything about a volunteer. I'm not seeing anything about a retiree recall. I'm not seeing it.
Maybe they don't want us to know. Unless we get
I'm just saying, dude, it's just like I'm looking through these sites right. Oh, some good stuff right here. Money motivation. Oh man, the mortars. Okay, the reason why I love the Chucks or 18 Bravos when it comes to that is because during my time deployed, I got to hang some mortars, and it was fun. I had a blast, and they do a real quick scratch lesson on how to use indirect fire and mortars and stuff like that. So to me, anything that has to do with mortars or the Chucks, 11 Charlies, So all right. So anyways. Nope, not seeing anything for nope. Nothing on the Army's social medias for this recall thing. Nothing. 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 But nothing. There's nothing. I don't see it. Nope. Did I have coffee today? No. Well, yes, actually I did have coffee. I actually had a half a pot of coffee. I was on the phones and all that, and talking to some peeps and all that. So yeah, I was busy. It was a busy day. I was like, hey man, I got a call. I got another phone call. I'm waiting for this other phone call. So doing some meetings and stuff like that. How does this reflect the reenlistment code? I think I already answered that it's some of it could be waiverable as well. So that would be up to the medicals. Here's the thing. A lot of the things that you were probably medically retired for, Branko, if you were medically retired, I'm not saying you were, I'm just saying in the event you are or you were, there was probably an appeal process, or there's probably a process where you had the opportunity to stay in. And so if that possibility to stay in probably happened, then more than likely, they could waive that.
Well, most of the reasons that you would get med boarded out is because you're non-deployable. As a recalled retiree, you're not deployable anyway.
You could, depending on what the position.
You're not going to go deploy as a recalled retiree. I'd have to look. They may have changed the rules since I've last read about all that. Yeah, but you're not going in as a retiree to deploy. The ones that were redeployed or recalled after right after 9/11, they were filling garrison roles. That's the reason why they were recalled, is to fill those roles that needed to be filled.
Right.
So everybody else could deploy. like to run operations and do stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like, or they still need pilots stateside. They still need all this.
Exactly. I was joking around with another senior leader, and I said that if I were ever to come back in, I would be in charge of an OPT, or I would lead an OPT as a sergeant major to go and fix every barracks issue. I'd go to every post, and I would be like the program manager or the OPT. And now we have the Recaall with hots and cots. It'd be more better. You know what I mean? But
right. And that's just it. And that's, like I said, that's why they'd let somebody up to 70 in, because, depending on what MOS it is, because you don't need them to be in shape to fight.
Right. Exactly. And what sucks is that the staff still have to operate. So they have to pull bodies to function those staffs, and the units, the line units end up paying for it. They end up going like, well, shit.
Right.
And I got all this fucking, I can't deploy a unit if I don't have to freaking work at AMC or IMCOM. Yeah. We're going to be, somebody's like, we're going to be the Gophers in the Army. I don't know, but some rank. Depends on what rank you got out as. I'd come back in.
Right. Or like I said, think about it, like that senior NCO that retired is now 50 years old. They still have all that knowledge and can be an instructor or can do all of these things that you can free up the rest of the force to do the things that the Army is really meant to do.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So on to the next. I know we hit that retiree guys. If you guys want to, you guys just look at the chats and look at the links that you see in there. That's where the retiree recall program is in there, and so we should bring back the Spec 5s and 9s for retirees. Dude, you ain't lying, man. Let me keep my beard and hands in my pockets, bro. I think that's what I'm saying though. I'm like, we would be like the ragtag soldiers.
Like, what are you going to tell me?
The E4, exactly. The E4. Just about the E4 mafia would be our henchmen. You know what I mean? They would, our henchwomen or men. You know, I
would like the Godfather.
We would be, we would be, and especially if one of us from the WTF Nation were to come in and come back in, because some of us are retirees, and we came back in, people would be like, oh. I would work in the IG office or something like that. It depends on what it is.
Okay, there you go. You guys want me back? I will work in IG.
There you go. Exactly that.
There you go.
Exactly that. We will create
I'm not doing anything out in the cold.
Exactly. We will create the JWIFTM. The JWIFTM. What is the JWIFTM? That is a Joint WTF Moments Task Force. You know how everybody likes to say JSOTF or JPOTF or whatever? JWIFTM. What the hell's a JWIFTM? That's WTF Moments Joint Task Force in the IG's office. So speaking of IG, this next story is going to be like it's a what the fuck, right? You can kind of say it's what the fuck.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
It's kind of like in the gig, right? It's kind of like in the job description. There is a general that pressured an assessment panel, which everybody knows that we're doing the BCAP stuff, right? We're doing the BCAPs, where we select battalion commanders through this process, and it's called BCAP, and they go and do this stuff like that. And these boards are supposed to be, subjective. They're objective, I should say, objective, and they're supposed to be another set of eyes for somebody to be selected for command. Well, a general has been pressured an assessment panel to help the career of an ineffective officer. General Hamilton, U.S. Army Material Command, may have abused his authority and subverted the services process for selecting senior leadership in what officials have described to military.com a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Of course it is.
It's always a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to prop up a subordinate officer who was deemed unfit to command. So an investigation by military.com, now mind you, the story is written by Steve Bannon. It basically it was a pressure campaign. Hamilton has a lot of influence and violated integrity of how the best officers are selected to run units. One general with direct knowledge of the situation told military.com under the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. So here's my thing. How is it that a GO, I appreciate the GO stepping forward. Don't get me wrong. I don't know who the GO is. So I appreciate the GO coming forward about this, about putting their input. But there is a colonel. There is a colonel that put his name on the line, that it became so egregious that the director of the Army Command Assessment Program, Colonel Robert O'Brien, penned a memo saying, hey, this is right, conduct on November 1st, immediately after the lieutenant colonel deemed unfit, twice an assessment within 48 hours. Now, look, if a colonel's laying his name on the line, say, hey, look, this is what happened. Hey, props to Colonel O'Brien. This is the shit that we need to see. I appreciate the GO that stepped up under the condition of anonymity, but man, that was an eye opener. That was why don't you tell me my fucking screen was halfway through? Sorry. It's an eye opener to see a colonel step up and write a memorandum and then openly speak to the media about this. Dude, shout out, man. Shout out to Colonel O'Brien. Colonel O'Brien, if you're listening,
he can recall me.
You want me to work with you? I'll work with you too. Maybe send him a ball cap, a WTF Moments ball cap, or some stickers or something like that. Maybe a coin rack or some shit. I don't know, but damn, that from the WTF Nation standpoint, that's awesome. He penned that memo and it was sent up, and obviously the memo of the incidents didn't characterize his conduct, General Hamilton's conduct, painted a clear picture that the seasoned 4-star commander went out of his way to put his thumb on the scale to favor a subordinate who had been judged unfit for command, possibly skirting Army rules. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible if you interfere in a process and you weigh in on it. Now, everyone says, well, have you ever seen soldiers like get the benefit of the doubt or get that whatever? Like I can understand one go at the BCAP process. I can see one go. But when the board comes back and says no, twice unfit, then there you go. The Army design, and this is Colonel Randy Farrell, a spokesperson for the Secretary of the Army. The Army designed the assessment program to make officer selection for key command assignments as fair and objective as possible. Again, another colonel speaking about this. We are reviewing these events and will take appropriate actions to ensure the integrity of the CAP process. There's a lot of
I'll believe that part when I see it.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have not heard, obviously there's more stuff to it. But I'm going to tell you what, at anytime someone brings up a situation that is counter to Army values. Now, of course, everyone's like, oh, how can you talk about Army values when you're part of WTF Moments? Shut up. just be quiet. Just this at this point. Do I gotta get, I'm already sounding like a freaking SGM already. I'm already sounding like a talk. I'm already like we're in the talk, right? Welcome to the talk at the Jiff Whiffdom. Sorry, I just like to say that. Jiff Whiffdom. Anyways, there are cases current, or there are events that happen in your Army career. Me and you've talked about this, Spanky. That when someone steps up and says, hey, there's something going on, then I think that individual needs to be protected as much as possible, moved out of the organization so that way they're protected as well. And if anything comes up or anything has to do by, with, and through any method of retaliation, that everybody should fry. Colonel O'Brien, dude, I'm going to tell you, man, that right there, I penned a memo, and here you go. I'll be honest with you. Again, shout out to the GO that stood up, obviously, under the condition and anonymity to avoid retaliation. But that should be promoted. That should be, hey, look, it should be General so-and-so said, yep, this is fucked up. This shouldn't have happened. Blah, 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 blah. Was quoted as saying this was abnormal and it was unprofessional and he should have known better. Now, come on, dude. If you're a GO that doesn't want to... Again... I shout out to the GO again. I can understand they may have their reasons why they didn't go, full-blown open cover. But again, there's so many situations in these large staffs, in these GO staffs, division staffs, corps staffs, big MACOM staffs that happen, and there's one individual that steps up and says, hey, I don't think this is fucking cool. I don't think this is right. I don't think this is, I think we should, whatever. You shouldn't slap that individual down. I wonder if Colonel O'Brien,
Absolutely not.
I wonder if Colonel O'Brien got pulled to the side and said, hey man, got it. You saw what happened. You saw what happened. Shit happens, right? This is the way it fucking goes. So maybe we should just move on. Maybe you should just whatever. You know what I mean? I wonder if Colonel O'Brien got that conversation. Because I know for a fact, conversations like that happen. I know for a fact that anytime someone steps up to do the right thing, and while their commanders are preaching Army values, unity of command, unity of effort, right? They start talking like that, and then there's somebody to the side to say, hey man, maybe you shouldn't do something. Maybe you shouldn't do this. They're just as fucked up and just as corrupt. They're corrupting the process just the same. Isn't that right, First Special Forces Command? Yes, we know.
Like I said, he's the one that stepped up.
Yeah. So shout out to freaking to Colonel O'Brien, and shout out to anybody who speaks up on something like that will say, hey, this is fucked up. This is not cool. This is not what we should do. This we need to do the right thing. Do the right thing is not shielding somebody from that. Hey, look,
And
go ahead.
Hamilton, if there is a particular reason, if you think like the CAP process is messed up and that this other officer should be a commander for whatever reason, say that. Like, don't like just put your thumb on the process and make her a commander. If she was found to be ineffective or whatever, like why did the CAP process say that? Like, okay, was there something wrong with it? Like, say that. Don't just like use your influence to make her one and like to circumvent the whole process. Like, was something wrong with it? Yeah, right? Fix the process.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm muted.
I mean, because like I said, I don't know the whole process or what is all involved because again, I've obviously never been through the process to be a commander. But again, if there's some, like I said, if he thinks she is a good leader or this, that, or whatever, like I said, say that.
Right.
Don't just,
Throughout the morning of the second panel, Hamilton repeatedly sent a text message and a senior staff assessment, including Hedrick and O'Brien, asking about the interview results, and he explained the memo. At noon, if the second panel was complete, Lieutenant Colonel was found again unfit for command.
Yeah.
This time by a 2-3 vote.
Okay. So again, there's obviously probably something.
Yeah. Again, so there's look, that term. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you or something like that. What's that? What's that term? Maybe we can have a, whatever. So, but again, shout out to the individual that stood up. Shout out to the GO that shout out to Colonel O'Brien. And again, make this serve as a warning that the media, even more than we're not doing any of the GWAT stuff anymore. That I think the media turning in and looking, or the how should I say this? Not turning in, but looking inward to our military more, that we're now seeing some of the shit that needs to get fixed. And I reiterate it again. That's been going on. Yes, exactly. That's been going on for a long time. That's why I did a shout out or a call out to First Special Forces Command. Everything, it happens to every command. AMC, FORSCOM, TRADOC, USASOC, First SFC,
GameStop.
Yeah. Knick-knack, paddywhack, Jifwidum. I'm just saying, we know. I will keep saying it. I don't give a... Oh, was I muted? Yeah, I'm sorry. Shit, so I just did a whole fucking rant and nobody heard me? God damn it. Anyways. But yeah, so there you go. That's the whole gist of that story. And I'm looking forward to that story. I'm looking forward to see what follows up, because I don't think this is over.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't over, because
I would hope not.
General Hamilton got this stuff put out, and I'm gonna say it's It is. I don't think it's yet to be over.
I mean, at best, he was just using his rank to influence something he shouldn't have been.
Correct.
That is the best case scenario.
That's the best case. Yeah.
I am pretty sure
Yep.
it was probably, well, I'm just cynical enough to believe it was probably a lot
It-
more
well,
than that, and I'll just wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Someone was saying, I was wondering if it was my audio. Wait, how long was I muted out? Shit. Fuck.
I don't know.
Because see, normally when I drink something and I have drinks, I don't like the microphone will pick up me like drinking, smacking, swallowing, making all the noises.
I can hear the whole time, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly that. You guys could hear it, but when I have the audience muted or something like that, I was wondering if it was my audio. Okay.
I'm gonna sip of my water. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna mute it.
Exactly that.
There it is.
Oh, it was only 10 seconds. Oh yeah, okay. So it was only like 10 seconds. Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right.
So it's not gonna kill the whole broadcast because yeah. Again, forgive me. I could hear the whole thing. Must be their connection.
We're new here.
Yeah,
We're new
exactly. Oh, I fixed it quick.
First
Okay.
day.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because what I do, like I said, it's instinctive. I drink the water, blah blah blah, and then I look down. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm muted, and I'm muted. So
Long time listener, first time caller.
yeah. Long time blabber, first time blabber of excellence. Anyways, so the last story we're going to talk about is something that's near and dear to my heart. The Ghost Army. The Ghost Army is an organization that during World War II was a deception unit. Was basically the U.S. Army's psychological operation regiment can trace their lineage back to it. Task and Purpose did a story we're going to post later on it, but it's basically the World War II vets, those old timers. They got awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for their actions. For almost 50 years, the Ghost Army has been a secret. It's a secret squirrel stuff. It's not secret squirrels, anyways. So, anyways. At any rate, and matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and post the story. It's going to get posted on the main page soon, anyways, and US and WTF Nation Radio. So I'll just drop it in the chats too, so y'all can see it. And they were masters of deception, along with the Ghost Army's family and friends received a Congressional Gold Medal today at 11 o'clock inside Emancipation Hall in the U.S. Capitol Complex in D.C. The medal is considered the highest the nation's highest civilian award that a unit could receive, and it is a custom giant gold medal that's worth about $30,000. So it's like, So Reverend Donald Fox, the son of the Ghost Army veteran Fred Fox, gave an opening prayer, and we were assembled at the Statue of Freedom, surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, Native Americans, vendors, leaders in peace and civil rights. We thank you, God, and the men of the Ghost Army for being recognized as soldiers who made a contribution to winning World War II in Europe without ever having to fire a gun. So you guys, see you guys saw the Ghost emblem. Now, if you guys know, I'm currently wearing the Ghost Army shirt. Zap. If you guys know that since I was, let me pull this up right quick. For a long time when I was anonymous and all that, the only way you knew who you were talking to was by I had the Ghost Army icon. Made their connections to, and they were inducted to the Psychological Operations Regiments, which is awesome because now they found a home. Everyone likes to talk about, how could you trace it back to this organization, or how could you? And I'm thinking, you know what? There's a lot of organizations within the U.S. Army that connect their lineages to other organizations that served or were involved in World War II. And to me, I think it was, well deserved. A friend of mine went out and presented retired psychological operations sergeant Pat Smith. Smitty went over there to present a lifetime association, and he was representing to the representative of the PSYOP Regimental Association. But he presented lifetime association memberships to the veterans of the Ghost Army, along with gray berets, to symbolize their service to the U.S. Army psychological warfare. Great pics right there. You could see a lot of happy faces. There were some tears shed. Hey, look, anytime I see World War II vets, getting choked up about, being inducted into something or being it gets me all, talks among yourselves, it gets me all
A little bit
verklempt, to see those old timers, and they were happy as hell to receive all of their Ghost Army memorabilia, swag, and induction into the Psychological Operations Regiment and the membership of the Psychological Operations Regimental Association. And that face right there, he is like happy. Look at that old timer right there. It's happy as hell. Just like, oh, look at that. That's good shit. While they were there, Smitty sent me some pics of some of the dinner, because tonight's the gala. By the way, they're having a party right now. All those old timers are partying, talking about throwing leaflets and speaker trucks and shit like that. To me, again, like I said, I eat this up because I feel like they're now home. They are now connected to us. And so here's some little artifacts from what they were doing and stuff like that. So I'm going to hang out with the PsyOp Regimental Association in May. I'm going. Do I say? I can't say that back at anymore. I can't, because it's no longer brag. I'm gonna say back at. Back at Liberty. I got to go back to.
I guess. Well, I guess you wouldn't be going back to Liberty, because if you haven't been there since it's been named Liberty, I guess.
No, I did. No, actually, wait. No, you're right. I don't think I have.
Oh yeah, you have.
I have.
Yes,
no,
you have.
I have. When we did the rededication ceremony for the Staff Sergeant Michael Dixon.
That's right.
Mike Dixon's mock-up, and then I'm going to the PsyOp Regimental Association's run. So in May, in the middle of May, I will be back at Liberty. I will be at Fort Liberty hanging out with my. I swear, every time I think that back at whatever, Josiah comes back in there. Back at Bragg. I love, man.
He knows.
He knows. Love you, Josiah. I had to break that habit. But anyways, so I'm gonna be hanging out with the PRA, shooting the shit with them, and then do the memorial walk ruck, and then it's gonna be pretty cool. So there's some artifacts there too, and dude, they gotta look at that. They brought in an inflatable tank. I gotta get me that tank. I want an inflatable tank.
They have like floating ones too.
Dude, I would so use that as a floaty. I would. Me and Baby Ice would be clinging to it. Erica says so dumb. I think I know what you're talking about. I think she's talking about the the name. It should have been Fort Gavin or Fort Ridgeway, not Liberty. Liberty. I think every time I say Liberty around Baby Ice, he goes Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. So only say for what's your name. For real, it felt like a year since your last time. I appreciate it, Josiah, man. I appreciate it. I feel like it was. Yeah, I mean, I've only done like a couple sergeants time now so far, since March 4th. So yeah, it's gonna be live streamed. The PRA, when they do their memorial ruck. So I'm pretty excited to hang out and with my fellow PsyOpers and then shoot the shit and chill. So hey, that was the last story. That was the last thing we're talking about. That was the last thing. So I think it's time for housekeeping, man. It's like
Do I need to get out the lemon pledge?
Yeah,
I was kind of looking up to see. We got a bunch of guests coming up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Well, you were talking about sweet vets and giant tanks. I was kind of going through and looking at who all we got coming up.
Yeah.
Our next few.
We got dude, we got some outings too. We're going to be out and about. Me and Spanky, we'll probably be out and about in Fort Cav and in the summer, which God, I can't believe you're talking me into going to Fort Cav in the summertime. Good. So there's
down here.
Yeah.
They sprinkled pollen on us.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What they did was they took us out the freezer. They sprinkled the pollen on us, and then they just put us back in the fridge because it's a little cold right now. They're getting ready to bake us in the summer.
My nose is running just talking about it, and my nose is so big, dude. And when I swim on my back, people say shark, so I got to be careful. Anyways, so. When we got summer with Grunt Style, we got summer with who else, man? We got a lot of we got some shit going on. We got the calendar. Everyone says, oh yeah, man, when you're back on schedule, make sure you let us know. And then as soon as we did, people are jumping on it. So this is Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky. This is the premier social media LPD / Army military news focused podcast that you can find. Don't forget, we got Friday Night Freedom as well. We got this week. We're gonna have our next week. No, this is a bye week. It's next week is the next showing of Friday Night Freedom. So we're not gonna have a Friday Night Freedom. For another Friday Night Freedom. So this week, we're going to have it next week. So at any rate, we got Tuesday, Pop Culture Warrior with CQ, Michael Carrasquillo with his bad Mike as his co-host. We have Jason Font. Now, I don't know if you guys know that sometimes when a guest wants to come on, but they don't want to come on at a specific time, or their schedule limits their appearance, we say, we could record this, right? It would be just like this. You'd look like you're on air with us, and you wouldn't even know it. And it's worked out. I tested it myself. Once CQ showed us all the tech and how to do it, then we did it. I did it with USREC. But yeah, it was an easy interview. So Jason Fount was going to come on for Pop Culture Warrior. And then, the Smoke Pit on Wednesday with the Team Sorrents, Radar and TZ, Daniel White. Wait a minute. Daniel White. Is it that Daniel White?
It's the singer-songwriter?
Yeah. Whoa, okay. Daniel White next week on the Smoke Pit. That's what I'm talking about. We need to grab some music and see what we could share on the socials, because that's pretty freaking cool.
Right.
Yeah, so that's gonna be next week's show with the Smoke Pit. Thursday, of course, with Spanky and myself at Sergeant's Time, and you will have, of course, Friday Night Freedom on the 20th. God, we're already closing in on the end of the month.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus, dude.
March is already marching.
Yeah, it's already marched away. March is gone. It's already marched out. So all of March is pretty much gone. I'm going away by next week, and we'll be done. We'll be in April, May, June timeframe is going to be busy for the WTF Nation and the WTF Nation radio staff. We'll be, like I said, we'll be out and about. We'll be doing individual meets and greets. The calendar for key leader engagements and LPDs and speaking stuff. I guess I will be on the speaking circuit. I guess we'll be like stand-up comedians. We're gonna do it right though. We're gonna
unless they recall us.
Yeah, unless they recall us. Yes, of course. And then of course, don't forget we have the sports bar on Sunday with the actual King Smith and the coach. What do you hear? What do you say? Big Goomba is like, dude, he's been freaking. I almost like when I'm driving and I'm listening to these guys freaking talking. I literally I'm laughing, and people sitting next to me in traffic are wondering why I'm laughing hard. Like I'm just sitting there laughing, and the person next to me at the light is like freaking. They're just like looking at me all weird because they're like, "What are you?" They
got me listening to some sports stuff. All right.
Yes, exactly that. If you don't listen, watch the sports bar on Sundays on WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments, you're missing out. Because they break it down so much that people who are not sports fans can understand it, and they get along with the jokes. And
I'm amused.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and amused. Yeah, and then they put a good touch to the sports broadcasting and commentary, so that way you guys can understand it. Now, when I say guys again, of course, people are like, "Oh, no, stop." Guys is gender non-specific, so I say guys, dudes, bros. Hey, man. Or something like that does not mean that I'm trying to insult you. Asshats, boneheads. Yeah, exactly that. And freaking bonehead, whatever name. Well, I got to get back into the Sergeant Major spirit, right? I got to freaking go back and start calling everybody dummies and boneheads and you idiots. You guys are pissing me off. What else?
Doggone freaking.
Listen to the sports show. What the freak? You better listen to the freaking sports show. It will behoove you to listen to the coach.
WTF Nation radios.
Exactly. So at any rate, again, with new news breaking information from the U.S. Army, any stories that you guys talk about, just let us know. Hit us in the go to contact at WTF Nation Radio, or just hit the inbox at U.S. Army WTF Moments on Facebook or Instagram. And we'll be able to do that because the staff, they don't mind going into the stuff. But again, take heed. This is a recall message LPD, I guess you'd say. And just go through and look inside the link that we dropped in the chat. It's a public chat. It's not CAC enabled. I think what happened, and this is what I think what happened, is that I think they meant to make it CAC enabled, but didn't realize that they didn't. Does that make sense? It's like it's like I think they did it, and they're like, ooh shit, whatever. So, but anyhow, share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on how many platforms? I think we're CQ's talking about doing more
I don't
platforms,
know,
man.
like
He's
73 years.
yeah, he's like freaking thinking about, hey, yeah, he's like, hey, boss, you want to do it like this, and we could do that, and we could put it like, I'm like, what platform is that? And he's like, oh, it's good, it's good. He said, we could do this, we could do that. I'm like,
Whatever you want to do, CQ, just send me the link.
just send me
I'll
yeah,
figure it
just send me
out.
what it is, and we'll figure it out. And the next thing you know, CQ's like, I added this. I'm like, all right, I guess we added that. So you're listening to us on X. If you're looking at the X app, you can actually click on the broadcast, throw a little something in the chat, and I will be able to see it. And this is why we do positive target feedback, or negative target feedback, as you could say. We're broadcasting live on the X app, formerly known as Twitter. We're also broadcasting live on 2 YouTube pages. U.S. Army WTF Moments. Yes, they have a YouTube. We got a YouTube there. And WTF Nation Radio. And on 2 Facebook pages. U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Don't forget to tune in also to our colleagues in space, the Space Force guys. And then also check out the Gamers. Grunts Gaming Network. Soon to go under a rename back to what they used to be. Man, I think that's it. I'm 3 minutes late, Spanky. 3 minutes over my time. So
It's okay. It's just starting to lighten it out. So.
exactly that.
I was like, what's that?
Exactly. Share, like, and follow. If you guys got anything for us, let us know again. And I appreciate you all listening. And is it? Oh, wait, I get to say shots. Shots. See ya.
Shots.
See ya.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's WTF Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Anything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects and mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.